Yo, what's poppin', my people? It's your boy CTG, and I'm back at you guys with another banger of a UFC 5 video. And in today's video, I'm going to be showing you guys how to pocket fight without having to block break. Now, there's this very big misconception that in order to be good at pocket fighting, you need to be able to block break. And that is not true, ladies and gentlemen. It is pretty easy to block break when you're pocket fighting, but you don't absolutely need to do it. So, in this video, I'm going to be showing you guys and breaking down a fight that I did against Zhang Weili, and I'm going to be using Alexa Grasso, and I'm going to be showing you guys and giving you guys tips on how to effectively pocket fight without having to block break. Without further ado, let's go ahead and get into it.
You ready to fight?
Right here, I always check the fighters. I try to check who I'm fighting before I actually fight them. Now we're underway. We're going to try to be as much in the pocket as possible against Weili. We're taking our time. All right, so you see, the first thing that I'm going to give you, first tip that I'm going to give for you, if you're not going to be block breaking inside the pocket, you have to mix it up. You have to go high-low to create confusion amongst your opponents, so that way they don't know which way to block. Number one, they don't know which way to block, and number two, this is what's going to set up your combinations to the head. Because if you're not threatening with strikes up to the head and you're not trying to block break, then you need something, you need to create a game plan in order to be able to land strikes up top. Because if you don't use this high-low mix-up, then your opponent's just going to hold their block up all day long. And they're going to kind of force you to block break them. So if you're not trying to do that, you need to go to the body. You need to go high-low and then eventually start to mix in low-high shots. So definitely do so. Definitely the first tip that I have for you is to mix it up. High-low and then low-high.
She's turning this into a sparring session, just high volume and
we're just taking our time.
Opponent has to make adjustments, but she has to interrupt those combos.
You see, he's entering back pretty well so far. He's not letting it overwhelm him.
When she is this free flowing, it is very difficult.
Right there, we'll kind of establish this pace of going back and forth. And right there, we landed a nice, clean four-piece combination and did a lot of damage to his head. And it's off of the second tip that I'm going to give for you. And that is working offbeat combinations. And you guys have heard me say this a lot. I've said this a lot. You have to be able to work in offbeat combinations, especially if you're not going to be block breaking, because this is going to interrupt the rhythm of your opponent and get you the damage that you're looking for without having to block break. So definitely learn how to pick up on timing, and then learn which combinations are the best to throw off beat to get you the damage that you're looking for.
oh, a big left hand.
And landed some nasty
Right here, we're landing a lot of shots, and you see the output on Weili is starting to slow up. We're starting to land a lot more shots.
All right, early round action here, and Zhang Weili not wasting any time finding a home for that right hand.
a beautiful right hand. You know,
So see, now he's trying to counter the body shots with the uppercuts.
Title-winning performances where she overwhelmed her with that shot.
So you see right here, what that little four-part sequence that he just did right there, what that lets me know is, number one, he's going to bobblehead. He's not afraid to bobblehead, which we all know is a pain in the ass to have to deal with. But number two, it's letting me know he's looking to counter-strike me. He's looking to set up counters. So what that lets me know is, if you haven't already, and if I haven't already, I need to work body punches. I need to stop my opponent from doing all this bobbleheading, especially if I'm looking to get a finish on him. So that's tip number 3 that I have for you guys. If you see that your opponent starts to bobblehead, go down to the body. And really what ties in with this is you have to pay attention to what your opponent is doing in response to the pressure of pocket fighting that you're putting on them. If you don't pay attention, you're not going to have much success, especially more so if you're not block breaking. In order for you to have success without block breaking inside the pocket, you need to be paying attention to what your opponent is doing. So that's a really big third tip, but it's the tip that I have for you.
Shot that put her out. Zhang Weili is a tremendous athlete, and when she explodes into this punch, she is
right there. We're still going down to the body, but you notice I've slowed up my output too. I'm not throwing as many strikes as I was earlier in the round because I want to see which way he's slipping and what type of counters he's trying to set up.
Oh, you can feel the breeze there. Swinging a miss by Grasso.
Right there was a nice lead hook straight by us. Tried to go for a body kick, but he did a good job of blocking it and catching it. Popping that jab off. And another tip that I have for you guys here with the fourth tip of the video, if all else fails and you can't figure out what your opponent is doing, reestablish your jab. The jab, you can never fail with the jab unless they're slipping outside, throwing slip counters and stuff like that off the jab. You can't really go wrong with it. It's a good base. It's a good foundation starter. So that's why you see me just pop out my jab. He threw another combination. I popped it out again. So another tip that I have for you is if it starts to overwhelm you with what your opponent is doing, if they're fighting like this, just pop off a jab.
Go and create them. She did exactly that.
So we're in the pocket.
Oh, another vicious combination.
See, we're walking forward to put that pressure on her.
Picking her apart. Oh my goodness, this is very difficult to watch.
Nice slip hook by us right there.
Play by play, you're so good at it. I can't look at this.
Now you see, he's starting to apply some pressure to me. So one thing that I do want to point out here as a universal tip for you, you see how she's putting pressure on me, not by necessarily throwing strikes. She's just walking forward. And I'm doing the same thing. When I want to put pressure, I'm just walking forward. I'm not always throwing a combination to get inside the pocket. Very big tip for you guys if you're going to be fighting against somebody that's trying to fight off the back foot. Very important. You have to be able to just be comfortable with just walking forward. That's going to apply the pressure that you want. It's going to make your opponent feel uncomfortable. And the more uncomfortable you make them feel, the more results you're going to get. The more chances you're going to get to either pull counter, slip counter, or land a combination in vulnerability. So overall, a universal tip for you. Learn how to pressure by just walking forward. Because that's what Weili's doing to me right now. And that's in turn what I'm going to try to do to her as well. Right there, worked a nice jab after he tried to hit me with a slip uppercut. Now we're jabbing inside the pocket. Almost popped off a straight with the well-timed one right there. Popping off the jab. Walking forward. And there was a double pull counter. Luckily, we didn't get hit with anything, but it's always crazy when you see that. There we're hitting in that block. Staying patient with it.
Well, she's been good tonight, but
and like I said in my Cub Swanson video, sometimes you just got to back up and reset and understand that not every single confrontation needs to be inside the pocket. And it's going to be the end of the first round. We had a very dominant beginning of the first round, but towards the latter half of that first round, he started to change up. He started to try to go very counter heavy. So we had to adjust our game plan accordingly. So now here in the second round, I wouldn't anticipate anything different from him than what we've seen in the first round. Still moving his head without us having to throw any strikes, looking real goofy.
This is a big moment for both of these fighters. Somebody is really going to have to make a decision that they're the ones
taking our time still.
Was
but now you see what I did right there is I added in something that I wasn't throwing in the first round. I added in that body jab. That body jab is number one going to continue that high-low read, right? In the first round, we went straight, our jab lead body hook. We went straight lead body hook. But now we're starting to throw the jab up top and then the jab down low. And the reasoning behind doing that and the tip that I have for you behind doing that is, number one, it still gives you that high-low read. But number two, it combats opponents trying to uppercut you, because the jab has considerable shorter frames than a body hook. You feel what I'm saying? So there's less chance that you're going to get hit and max vulnerability off throwing a body jab as opposed to a body hook. And if you guys go back and rewatch the first round, he started to throw uppercuts to try to combat the body work that we were doing. So in order for us to maintain the high-low read that I was telling you guys about, we're starting to work that body jab. So I would advise you, when you see your opponents throwing uppercuts, don't go away from the body shots. Just go and start working body jabs, because they were buffed in the last patch. So they do considerable more damage than they did previously. So definitely work in body jabs if you haven't. And you'll see later on, I start to set up combinations off that body jab too. So very, very important. So here I'm still taking my time. We're getting into the pocket whenever we can, but we're not forcing it. We're taking what he gives us.
One of her coaches, the captain Eric Albarracin, has said,
nice combination on the offbeat. Cracked him with a nice uppercut. Did some nice solid damage. Nice jab lead body hook again.
The body to great effect. Actually, some redness now underneath the elbow of her opponent.
Yeah, she does a great job of attacking the
jab.
body in multiple different ways.
Breaking it down a little bit, but not over committing on block breaking combinations.
Gotta keep pressing. She's got her hurt. Gotta look for the finish. Oh,
nice double jab to enter into the pocket. Now you see, he switched back to that strategy he had at the end of the first round. He's now trying to look for counters. And when he stands close to me, she's looking for that elbow. Looking to go for the elbow. Looking to go for the pull counter uppercuts. So basically the same exact strategy from round one. And that's why I said, people don't change. I didn't anticipate a change from him heading into the second round. And he's basically doing the exact same thing. So now we need to build on that game plan. We incorporated the body jabs. Now, when they anticipate that we're going to go down to the body, now we can work up the combinations to the head.
And doing work with the jab.
Right there, we work the body again. We feint the straight. Nice combination mix-up. We went low-high.
Nice series of punches again there.
She's in a great flow state.
Now I did notice that he's slipping off right there to our rear side. So he might be able to catch him with a head kick. If we can time that out right.
Well, she has certainly
caught him with a clean three-piece. Still just taking our time, going down to the body, then back up to the head. Backing her up as much as we can to the cage. Nice jab lead hook up to the head. And there it was. The lead head kick that I told you we might be able to set up. We were able to set up beautifully, and now we have her trapped up against the cage. Putting her in the mixer. Nice jab, rear hook to the body, or lead hook to the body. And now you see what I'm doing here is I'm mixing in the range. I'm hopping in and out of the pocket, to not let her get settled. Not letting my opponent get settled. Not getting them used to just me standing in front of them, so that way they can kind of formulate a counter strike to be able to land a heavy damage on me. You know what I'm saying? So that's another tip. When you get somebody hurt, start hopping in and out of range. Start hopping in and out of range. Just because you have somebody hurt doesn't mean that you need to swarm them every single time. Sometimes you can just hop out of range. Do your damage from out there, then hop back in range. Do your damage from in there. Or sometimes it's just as simple as making your opponent whiff. So that way their stamina is down low like my opponents are right here before we start a combination. So that way we can double up on the damage that we're getting. So another tip, hop in and out once you get your opponent hurt in the pocket, especially if you're trying not to block break.
Well, we could be looking at an epic comeback here. She rocked her significantly.
Right there, caught him with a good jab uppercut. Nice straight as he tried to pull. Nice lead body hook. And notice how I'm not overcommitting on long combination strings trying to block break. I'm having a lot of success without breaking the block down fully and just going crazy.
It's always fun when you get a fight like this. Well, you see the blood
Mixing in a nice elbow just to give him something to think about while he's standing directly in front of me. But there he countered with a nice straight. But it didn't matter because we rocked him with the offbeat 3-punch combination. And now we got the body knockdown. Now you see what happened? The same thing that happened in the first round. We mixed in an offbeat combination. Got the rock. But instead of block breaking and going up to the head, we threw a strike up to the head and then ripped that rear body uppercut into the body and got that beautifully timed body knockdown. So now my opponent knows it. He knows it. He knows that he just got knocked down with that body shot. So now it's going to put him in that mixer that we've been talking about. Now he's going to have to block low because he's going to be in fear of us going down to that body and getting another body knockdown. Excuse me. So it's going to put him in quite a bit of it's going to create quite a bit of problems for him if he doesn't make the right read.
She gets back up here, but she is on wobbly legs.
But they're breaking it down a little bit. Ooh, but we missed on the hook, and he made us pay with a nice uppercut to the head. But we made him pay with a nice slip straight. And that's the end of the second round. Now, just a tip that I want to give for you guys, that you guys just seen that I got pull countered uppercutted. That's why you don't want to swarm them. You don't want to swarm them because you take a 50-50 chance that they're going to make a correct read. And against fighters specifically like Zhang Weili that hit so damn hard, it only takes one counter to do massive damage. So just keep that in mind. But great second round from us there.
So she goes back to the stool now. We'll see the extent to which she can recover. As many of you know, 60 seconds.
That nose, it's quite broken, but you're going to see here the exchange that rocked her before we were able to get that knockdown to the body. So here in the third round, we're going to keep working on what we've been working on the last two rounds and see if he adjusts. They're nice lead hook because I notice he's slipping a lot to the outsides. And the body jab still, but there's a nicely timed offbeat straight and we get another knockdown. Big tip that I have for you. Once you get a knockdown, don't be like me. Take that damn thing. Take the knockdowns. Take the knockdowns. Jump on them. Try to get the fight finished. Because the longer you let somebody hang around, the more chances there are of EA letting them pull some real fluky stuff. So, another tip that I didn't do here for the sake of the video, take your knockdowns when you earned them. Right there, ripping to the body because I noticed he's bobbleheading again. Popped off a nicely timed straight. And there's a takedown. There's no better feeling as a pocket fighter than when you see your opponent either try to take you down or take you down, because you know if you get back up to the feet, they ain't got nothing for you. This lets me know he ain't got nothing for me at all on the feet. And he feels so much pressure that he's shooting for takedowns with Zhang Weili. You feel what I'm saying? But another tip that I have for you, work on your defensive grappling if you're not good on the ground. Because if you're pocket fighting somebody, there's a high chance they're going to try to take you down if you start getting them damage shots in. So right here, I'm not too worried about it. Able to hit the get up pretty quickly. Working the body nicely on the three-piece. There's a nice lead body hook into a straight. And there's another beautiful body knockdown. And it's off that mix-up, and there's a slip straight. And now we're looking for the finish because we have the body health low, we have the head health low, and he knew it, so he shot for a takedown.
Zhang's nose is just pouring blood right now.
Now, you guys seen I had how low the head health was and how low the body health was when we got that last stun. Those are the situations when it's okay to try to swarm them, to try to go for a finish, because either way, it's a big risk for them to try to counter, because if he was to try to pull counter on a shot and I go down to the body with a body hook, it's almost damn near a body finish every single time. I might get a TKO to the body, not gonna lie. So if we get back to the feet, we're gonna be looking to finish.
Dr. Daniel, but I'm not sure that thing
so tip for you guys. Head health.